just going through my notes and just read a horrifically racist thing.
What is it? Sure.
It's not really there yet.
Okay.
I think it needs some refining.
Keep that going.
I think right now it'd be a little rough around the edges.
All right. All right. So last time we left off with, where did we leave off? The fall of Carthage in 146 BC. So we're gonna kind of backtrack a little bit. Seems like, so remember how we were talking about how Carthage had their branch of elites, and the Etruscans had their branch of elites, and we didn't know where that split was, right? Apparently, a lot of this comes from the fall of the Bronze Age. So remember how...
And the Etruscans are the people who were there before the Romans.
Yes, this is the... They were originally the...
Did it say anything about... They're not like the people who were originally from there. They were just there before the Romans.
It's debated.
Oh, okay.
So it's either...
Because I saw some stuff about, like, the original people of Italy, and I got all, like...
the Villanovan culture.
Villanova?
The Villanovan.
Big Ten, baby?
The Villanovans.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, so they're...
I should know about the college basketball team.
So from 1100 BC to 900 BC, you had this Villanovan culture, which is just kind of like native tribal people, I guess.
What color?
I don't know. The lady says Iranian.
This is in Italy?
This is in Italy. They might be Arabs, dude. A lot of these people just might be Arabs.
Because sometimes Iranians don't really look Arab. Sometimes they just look kind of like
Anatolia, like that area.
Bro, Turkey's crazy. Turkey's got everything.
Turkish too. Yeah, from Turkey.
Everything.
Because that's what it's debated. The mainstream says that they evolved from the Villanovan culture and that they're like native Italians, and they kind of grew up and they emerged from there, right? Herodotus, that dude from the 5th century BC, he wrote that there was a famine.
He's a good egg. I like him.
You like him? I haven't read too much about him. He said there was a famine in part of the Lydian people, which is like western Anatolia. And these people moved westward under the leader name Tyrrhenus, Tyrrhenus. Hence, apparently, Tyrrhenians, whatever the fuck this guy's name is another name for Etruscans. That makes it pretty fucking easy, right? That they might come from Anatolia, right? Which would line up with the rest of this. When like the Bronze Age collapses, some people went westward in the sea. Those are the Phoenicians. They founded Carthage and northern Africa. Some people went westward on land. And they became the Etruscans, is like what it kind of seems like. So you have these two branches of elites. That's when they kind of start popping off. They got they're on the kings, so they do like the like god kings. They're on that shit still, like from Babylon, like all that shit. Carthage is running shit on. They have their king, but then they have their council as well. This is when you get those two like splits of the elites, right? You have this branch of elites of which is the Etruscans, that then the Romans kind of take over and they kind of start popping off, and then you have this branch in Carthage. Basically, the difference is that the Carthage. I think we kind of went over this last time. The Carthage is more like they deal more in like trade, dyes, grains, slaves. Their religion is Baal. Temple economy, like everything that temples are banks. We talked about that. They do human sacrifices, children sacrifices. Like we said, like it's an oligarchy. Everything's run by a council, and like merchant families is like kind of like the first time you see that. Kings are chosen by the council. They kind of prioritize wealth and trade over conquest. They're not trying to have a bunch of land. Why have a bunch of land when you could just trade with everybody and be rich as fuck? They're like the merchant banking elites, basically.
I guess Carthage influenced Rome because in the Second Punic War, Carthage beat their ass real bad at some battle of some lake, and they started changing their Saturnalia holiday to include sacrifice to like appease Carthage's ball.
Really? Well, that's what it kind of seems like, because you have the... It seems like after the Punic Wars and they kind of... Rome takes over the Mediterranean, they become like the superpower. It seems like you had these two sides of elites and they kind of just... They just merged.
It'd be funny if you, instead of saying super, you're like, there's like, they were America back then. Like, you didn't know.
They were the first America. They were like...
Any empire, any good country, you're like, see, China was the first America.
A lot of people don't realize. Yeah. It's like, what are you talking about?
You mean like the first great, like...
No, they're the best.
The best...
the
USA.
They're the best guys. What do you want to talk about here? The Etruscans had... Is
that where Tuscany comes from?
Mm-hmm. Tuscany? What?
Etruscan.
Oh, yeah.
Etruscany.
Yeah. Exactly. No, exactly. They founded all those like original cities, I guess. The Etruscans. And then that's just north of Rome. Just south is Rome. The Etruscans were more land-based. So you had priest-king elites that had land, and you get taxes and all that bullshit. Metalworking, whatever. Oh, this is the thing I was talking about.
Not bullshit. What about metalworking? I have a metalworking thing.
Oh, they're just saying they have land. They get a lot of money from land ownership, metalworking, taxation. That's where they get a lot of their money from. Look up this. This is that thing. AUGURY. This is what the Romans are on, and I can't fucking write. It's dumb as shit.
Oh, I was just reading something about the language of the birds. You ever hear that?
No. This is why I'm glad you're looking at this. I was like, this is up your alley. I was like, I read this and go, this is fucking stupid. Fucking dumb as shit. I don't give a fuck about this.
No, the language of the birds.
Yeah, go ahead. What is that?
Well, what is this?
A sacred chicken and a curved wand.
Ooh, I've heard of that. When they look at the animal entrails, that's Etruscans. Cicero.
This is what this branch of elite was on. So instead of like Baal worship, they kind of lean more towards this, as well as gods of the sky and underworld. Tenia, Unai.
The language of the birds in Abrahamic mythology.
Yeah, that's the picture I see that picture pop up.
Okay, I see. That's why Odin had two ravens.
In Norse mythology, understand the language of the birds is a sign of great wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what their shit was on. They would observe the birds and they would...
Zeus would become the eagle. Yeah, this is way more my shit.
Yeah, no, I know you'd like this.
Ooh, the Abrahamic religion. David is said to have been taught the language of the birds.
Yeah, this is in Greek. You're not even in Rome yet. Oh, apparently this is old as shit.
The Conference of the Birds. Save that. Attar of Nishpar wrote it. In the Jerusalem Talmud, Solomon... It said his wisdom was due to granted by the understanding of the language of the birds by God.
See, I think this is gay, but I can't wait for you to look into this, and then through you, I could then get into it.
The language of the birds.
I can go, oh, I get it. Okay, I'll fill the bird feeder.
Language of the bird. That's what's great about Trump is that nothing's off to the table. He could come out and say the language of the birds,
and people would love it.
You never know what
but he's not gonna. That's old Trump. That's Trump 1.
Trump 1.
Trump 1. Trump 2 is a different animal. That's not a real. That's not him.
In the Kabbalah, they say it was a secret and perfect language, and the key to perfect knowledge. Don't you love reading perfect knowledge? What a phrase. Okay.
Yeah, so they're into that shit.
Who? The Etruscans, right?
That's the Etruscans. That's the Etruscan.
All right, like I'm back on Etruscans.
Yeah, there you go. See? You like it now.
Yeah, you just got to give me something to get my hooks in.
The rulers doubled as high priests. This is when you still have the combination of church and state. So the king who's making rules and laws and everything is still going to be doing like religious shit. They're still going to be, I want to say performing sacrifice, but I don't think they do that. They're doing like religious rites and like.
I read that the Romans were big on
listening to the birds.
Rites, but not sacrifice. And then once the Greek shit came in, then they were like, all right, we got to sacrifice stuff. And then they did it more when, like I said, the Carthage thing.
Yeah, yeah. So Rome starts, so basically, the Etruscans don't last long, is what I've noticed. I thought they were going to be a bigger fucking deal. They only last 900 to 600 BC. And I say 600 BC, they like expel all the Etruscan kings in like 509. And that's when you get like the Roman Republic. That's when you have. You like that? That's when you get like the powers separate. That's when you get the separation of church and state. You get the Senate system back and all that business. And I believe that lines up with, yeah, so this is all way post Punic Wars. The two elite combine. And now they're kind of, Rome's picking up. We're in the Republic. This is when you're starting to get like those early names that I can't fucking pronounce and I don't really know. But Caesar starts rising up and he's in some like treaty with two other I wish I had the fucking name of it. He's in some treaty with two other guys that are like generals and rulers that are all coming up through Rome. And Caesar's deeply connected. All these people are deeply connected to like.
Oh, I saw what you were talking about. Dude. You know, you were saying him and Venus?
Yeah.
And you were saying how they don't actually think they're connected?
Yeah. That was the other thing I was looking up.
I read one, not disagreeing with you. I mean, it was in passing. I didn't like delve into it at all. But I read one thing that was like Venus's. It made it sound like it was straight up like Venus's son, and then his great-great-grandson was fucking Caesar or whatever.
Well, that's what they say. That's how Caesar's line goes from. It like goes from Venus to like another guy to then another guy, and then it starts like the Caesar line, and then there's like 15 Julius Caesars.
Like George
but how
Foreman.
does that make sense? Like, so they come from. How would that make sense? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't.
Again, this is where me and you split. Makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, but if they're she's not the god Venus isn't coming down here at.
You don't know.
It's crazy. That's fucking crazy. That's crazy.
Hey.
No, because
I don't know where you draw your lines,
but
man.
Venus isn't even. That's based on another thing. That's based on another thing. That's based on another thing.
Yeah.
So that
same lady.
That person you think keeps
they're just
coming
calling
back?
her Venus.
You think they keep coming back and she's like, I'm gonna fuck and then I'm gonna give birth to this guy.
Or people are just
like,
copying old stories onto themselves.
That's what that's where king shit doesn't make sense to me, because that's where it's that shit. Like Caesar comes up and he's like, you have all these elite families and they claim nobility through that shit. They go, well, I'm 500 years ago, Venus.
Well, it literally is working right now with Israel. They go, it's in the Bible. It says we get
that's
this
what
land.
I mean.
Yeah.
And that's like the system we're fucking track. Like it's that system of like, how are
greedy
these
thinking?
Or it's like, how are these? Like, this doesn't fucking make sense. Like, I don't know. But that's where you get, because you get the Orsini's, they track themselves to these like people in, from like the city of Troy or something. And they go into.
Which they thought was not real, right? And then they found.
Yeah, and they found it.
Yeah.
Like that city of that,
right.
Yeah.
Gilgamesh.
Yeah. Or Marduk or whoever the fuck you want to say.
Well, I think people, like mainstream, admit it was like the Gilgamesh. They admit that Gilgamesh was probably real, but then it's so funny because then they're like, but not all the stuff they said about him, and not the other names on the same list as him.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I don't know.
Well, where's the line?
It made
because that shit I'm on because it's so long ago. Where it's like, okay, that
the Roman shit.
And it's so early.
Says it made a point to say that what we call myth they regarded as history. I'm like, yeah, everyone did. Like,
Yeah.
We came along and said myth. They don't. None of these guys are like, oh, these are stories we made up.
Yeah, they write it down as history.
Yeah. Which I respect, and I take their word for it. And I don't trust certain sources, but in general, I'm like, hey, they said the guy came down.
But it seemed, he
says he wrestled God, and he changed his name to Israel.
Yeah. But you know what's fucked up is that I think, like, the Babylonian shit could all be the temple system and the worshiping of these guys could just be the fucking problem. You know what I mean? Like,
and I would like to note, the issue with the temple system isn't that there's a nice place to go worship, because obviously churches can be beautiful and they have all the resonant frequency and the sacred geometry, and you feel nice when you go in there.
Yeah.
It's not saying that that's bad. It's saying that having the temple system where everyone's going and you're tithing 20% of your pay and you got to donate to the church and yada yada.
It's
like
a fucking bank.
All that.
You're pooling wealth, and you're like
the weird shit.
Yeah, you're pooling wealth. You're hiding knowledge.
That started in the Judeans in Babylon, when that two systems merged and we get
this
temple.
System. Exactly. So I want to know, like, and is that why we can't find anything before any of this stuff? Or is that why none of this stuff is allowed? Because if you were to know the thing before the temple worship or before any of this stuff, why would you believe any of this? You know what I mean? Like we said, Caesar ties his shit back to Venus. And like, and I didn't say we didn't say the other side. So there's that side. There's that argument that he is from Venus.
Yes.
The other thing I was seeing is that when these elite people and these noble people, they claim origins back to these gods or these, like, these gods. It's just saying that they're the ones that are in charge of that temple's wealth, and that whoever was
praised. I like that theory.
It's interesting. So like you had that temple of Baal that then the Romans took over and turned in Baalbek. You had the Romans then took it over and turned it into the temple of Jupiter or whatever. So it's like the money doesn't go anywhere. Like however how much gold, like during the one of the Punic Wars, like when they finally like agreed, I guess Rome was getting attacked by somebody, and they were like, yeah, you can have 300 pounds of gold. It's like 300 pounds of gold. It's like you're just weighing that shit out. It's like, so it's like these temples, like it's not money, it's not currency, it's fucking gold and like precious metals and like jewels and shit. Yeah, exactly. So it's like when these
guys got Star David on his hat.
Yeah, so it's like these, like there's temples in Carthage. So it's like the Punic Wars are over. Rome comes in, they take over, they become this massive empire. The elites really aren't going anywhere because they're pretty useful. They know the trade routes. They have whatever knowledge is in that temple that they're going to get anyways.
Insider trading.
Exactly. So then they merge. They become one elite system. They get all that temple's...
Kike.
Yeah. They get all that temple, and Jews aren't even around yet.
Well, what? But that's exactly the point. That's our whole thing.
That's the whole thing. Listen, we're getting off the Jews.
But they only have a slur because of them. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to keep the slur. Same way I feel about them, where we got to repurpose these words. Because you could just be the thing without being the thing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, white people I'd like to hit with a hard R, because it's the only word that means anything. It's the only word that would get through to someone.
It's the only word anymore that's got bite.
Mongols.
Yeah.
Damn near. Tartarian.
There's that stretch of land. Like, we played a lot of geography, but I do forget about that stretch of land between Russia and, like, Europe.
Like Azerbaijan. Like that area.
Yeah, like the Middle East. Like, I know where, like, Iraq and, like, Saudi Arabia is, but there's, like, an area past, like,
Tajikistan and Uzbekistan.
Yeah, kind of. Apparently, Kazakhstan was the Khazarian Empire.
Kazakhstan's sick.
That guy on Twitter will tell you any place is the Khazarian Empire.
Tartarian Empire.
Tartarian Empire, yes, yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's crazy that for all the headway we're making, and it's like, and where does Tartaria fit?
It's fucking, I don't get it.
I feel good about that one part of the chart we have, though. I have like that right top side pretty good.
What chart? Oh, the Canaanite one. Pull that up. Let's get that up.
We have Baal worship Canaanites into Judea Pharisees. We don't have Karnak priests yet.
We didn't really get into Judea and Pharisees yet.
We touched on some Judea with the whole, the last couple we did. We did some Judea. The types of Jews
Maybe
ones.
a lot. Types of Jews we did.
Khazars, we did 2 parts. Babylonian Talmud, we did that whole thing about the types of Jews, the split when they had the 2 Talmud. The Babylonian one is the one that stuck, not the Jerusalem one.
We need King Solomon.
So we got the Khazars, and then we know stuff about Tartary. We don't know exactly how it fits in.
Oh, did you look up
Khazar
Janus?
Exodus. Yeah. That's all I got.
What is it?
Janus we talked about a little bit before.
Are these people just like Baal? Is it like Baal to Saturn to Tanat to Juno / Cybele?
Baal is like Saturn and like Kronos. That's who he's on the level with. But then remember how we were saying Baal's also like Zeus and Jupiter. So I don't know if it's just because, like how we talked about with the Enuma Elish, the stories can like stack over the generations.
Well, I think
that's why he covers like 2 generations worth of their guys.
That's interesting.
Because you can equate him on the one hand to like lightning bolt guy, Zeus, Jupiter, but then on this other level, he's also like the Saturn Kronos guy, where he's like the head dude.
So you think this is where like that thing happens that we were talking about, how one guy could split into 2?
I think it's like how we say with the Enuma Elish, it's like, well, we don't know if that's Anu or if that's Enlil, and they just said it was Enlil later, because we already know that they say, well, now it's Marduk, and it's like, well, it was and Enki before. So I wonder if it's just that, like, while the gods' names are changing in those other places, Baal just stayed Baal in some areas.
Okay.
So while these names are changing, he's just over
sense.
there remaining constant. So then that's why, and it made sense how you were saying with the Phoenicians, they spread out all over, because that's how like Baal gets over here, right?
Yes.
So that makes sense that he survives that way, as like
because
the Yahwehism is spreading out in where Baal used to be dominant.
Yeah. Because post Bronze Age, or post Bronze Age collapse, when they started expanding, that's when like the priests from Baalbek hopped over, and then they kind of merged with those merchants going out of Byblos or whatever, or
I like that,
or no, after that Tyre, and that's when, and then they would spread the Baal worship and all that stuff. So yeah, that's interesting. And if your networks are that vast, you're going to be moving that shit all over the place. So even if it goes beyond where the Roman Empire went, like Baal's still going to be sticking around.
And it's like at this point, he probably did have to have his name changed, like post-Rome. That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
But, yeah, to stick around while everyone else is like, you know, the turnover rate on the fucking names every time someone wins a battle, it's like, it's this guy now.
Yep, flip it.
So for Baal to just kind of keep coming out on top in some areas. So we talked about Janus with the Nimrod episode, because remember David Icke's theory is that Nimrod is Janus, who...
And his wife is the other person.
Is Eannis, who is Eannis. Like, that's all the same shit. Etruscan thing, because that's the shit you're on. I found the Etruscan version is Annie, the sky god, which obviously sounds a lot like Anu, which was the sky god for the Enuma Elish and Babylon shit. Name means doorway. He's the dude with the 2 heads. He's
which this also kind of makes sense, where if the Etruscans and these people did come from... Oh, yeah, I remember that guy.
He's also said to have minted the first coins.
Wow.
And
look, the the papal key.
Oh yeah, he's that's one of his things he's represented by, because he's the god of doorways and stuff. So he's represented by keys. Ianus means arch doorway, and the root word of that means passage. So he's, and then remember we connected that back to like the Heimdall type of Marduk figure, where he's like guarding the gates of the above waters of the firmament, like all that shit, or he's guarding the fucking Bifrost between realms. The ball connection in ancient Chaldean, which was southern Mesopotamia, their version, this one dude, like the scholar William Bethune, believes that Janus worship originated there. And then their word Ianush means the man, which again is like Ianus, Ianush.
You're Ianush.
As are you.
The man.
But he thinks that, like, because Janus can be associated with a couple different people. He doesn't have a Greek, doppelganger or whatever. But he's kind of, like I said, connected just through that, like, god of doorway thing to, like, the Marduks and the Heimdalls and stuff. He's got, like, people will connect it to the Hindu thing because of the double-headed face, but I feel like a ton of the Hindu gods have that, and his is kind of specifically like, I'm looking to the past and the future, the heavens and the earth. Like,
Santos also says that the Hindu stuff is the only thing that's untouched.
I'm pumped to get back on that shit eventually. It doesn't really factor in with like our plans so much, but I actually have those books. I used to like be reading the Upanishads and really enjoying myself.
No, that's gonna be fun. We do have to figure out a super cut though. So we're not just reading fucking extra shit. There's a lot of fucking books, I think.
Oh, well, the one thing's long as fuck.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And you know, I'm not gonna. If we're gonna fucking read that, it's gonna be in fucking. It's gonna be in riddles.
I liked reading the Upanishads though. That shit had me all like, yes. Why would I choose a life of passing pleasures over a life of contentment?
He says that shit's untouched. So it'd be interesting.
Probably stings.
Yeah, it's probably stunk. Yeah.
No. Oh, it said that he lived at the limits of earth, at the extremity of heaven, which, remember, in the Enuma Elish, there's that, like, thing that they said, like, lives... The way it's described, it almost seems like it hangs off the top of the firmament, because it's...
like a chandelier.
Yeah, or like a... when that thing takes you up for skiing. It's like
a ski lift.
Yeah, and it's, like, just stuck at the top.
Yeah.
Yours is better, but I don't know why that's the one that came to mind for me.
I think they use chandelier. I think they describe the stars or the firmament as like a chandelier.
But then, isn't that what that sounds like? At the limits, where it's like, well, what the fuck would that be other than?
Or it's like, or it's just like, because you remember they had that space in between, like right before the firmament, where it was like they had Earth, and then it was like there was like that little space, and then there was the three.
Yeah, it says it's like the fucking heaven of something before like actual heaven. Like, that's what that is. So again, everyone's on the same fucking shit.
I'd love to know that that's the moon.
I was reading today about how the moon is here to magnify the signals of Saturn.
Yeah. That was the David Icke. That was the presentation thing.
Yeah. But I'm saying it came up like in this.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Or no, actually, no. That was just me on Twitter. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, that's the that's
I was just reading about Saturn today.
That's the Saturn moon matrix.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thank you.
Fucked up, dude. Dude, and then you know what's funny? You look at the moon, and it is
the continents.
It is the continents.
I had to bite through my fucking tongue and not say that to my sister the other day.
Did you know in the U
poison her mind?
Yeah, no, disgusting. That'd be hard not to do. Did you know in the UN or one of these buildings?
She tried to hit me with global warming. I said, Mads,
stop.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Hey, check that off the list.
She goes, but you're a conspiracy theorist. I said, okay, do whatever you want. Not real.
Hey, waste your time.
I said, hey, instead of looking at this graph, maybe look at this graph.
Yeah.
Look up a man by the name of Randall Carlson.
Yeah, you can.
He'll learn you.
Yeah, get her on that early. That'd be crazy.
I used to watch that all the time, man. Him and Graham.
Yeah.
When they first broke down, like, shit's fucked.
Yeah.
That was everything to me.
I'm sorry. At the UN or one of these buildings, you know how the UN has the flat Earth fucking picture?
Yes, but also, like, I always go.
Yeah.
People always say, like, look at all these flat Earth suns, and it's like, well, I think it's just like a 2-dimensional globe.
It is, totally, yes. And I'm with you on that.
Okay.
They have another picture that I could pull. I could send it to you if you want. They have that, and they have the ice wall.
They do have ice walls on some of them.
They have the ice
that
wall. And there's extra.
I'll take.
There's extra land.
Interesting.
Yeah, let me find this. Let me find this mug.
I always see things on Twitter of people have like those maps where it's like, and Muse on this ring, and then you go past another ice wall, and there's these, Asgard is here. I'm always like, is this just the ramblings of a schizophrenic, or is this like based on something? I would love to know that it's based on something.
This is on the wall of the UN Secretary General's office.
Wow. Yeah, send that to me, please, for the files.
How interesting.
Remember the thing I showed you in JFK's office? He had a flat Earth
No.
poster.
The poster.
It's like the whole wall.
It's taped up.
Like a band.
He unrolled it and taped it.
Mr. President, you can't. Shut up.
It's crooked.
I think they're good, Mr. President. It's the Oval Office.
You know the guy that took over after Kennedy was LBJ?
Yeah.
The communist? That's fucked.
That's not even what I'm looking at.
No, that could be the thing you were talking about earlier, the flat globe.
This is what I was talking about.
I don't know about that. Maybe.
They could be the same. But I'm just saying JFK of
That
all
is
people to
interesting.
have
Yeah,
it. It was
that
just
is
like
interesting.
just notable.
That is interesting.
If it was, LBJ, it'd be like,
You know-
was he jerking off in there?
Well, that's the thing. Did you know LBJ called Jackie drunk after her husband got his head blown off, and he's like, "Jackie, I love you, Jackie. I want you, Jackie." Isn't that disgusting? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, he was not a great guy.
Mr. President.
He gets all this credit for being like good on civil rights, and it's like, I think he just.
Oh, that's the thing.
I think that was part of the plan,
Bro, I was listening to that Louis thing, and they were talking about after the assassination of JFK, that's when they pushed all the civil rights shit. That's when he pushed all the civil rights shit, and all that got passed right after the JFK stuff, and I guess that kind of helped it. Where it's like, well, they just killed Kirk. I'm curious to see what comes after, like, because something's coming after that. Something's gonna get passed. Something's gonna happen. Like,
It makes sense how our boy Charles, I know we talked about before, black dude that would be like, obviously me and you can hang out, black dude and white dude, but at the end of the day, black people should hang with black people for the most part, and white people should hang with white people for the most part. And he would say it, and people would be like staggered by it, and it's like, it's because he's on this shit. We're like,
how'd you get here?
huh?
How'd you keep going?
Civil rights.
Okay.
Because I was so convinced, you go into all this shit with like your certain beliefs, and I was of the school of thought that like obviously, because again, we border up against like, I think Hitler might have been a good bad guy, but that's under the assumption that he wasn't actually like, well, white people are superior. Yeah. Like it's under that assumption. So, and obviously,
and I guess was connected.
Well, I think his thing wasn't that white people were superior. I think his thing was just that everyone should kind of stick to their own a little bit. Which, again, I always maintain like
a lot of people in Europe are on that right now.
And I push back against that. And it's like my natural instinct, just because my mom raised me, that like everyone's cool. And I did grow up like in a place where fucking everyone's just on top of it. And,
Yeah, New York.
But I think that's one of the only places where like it kind of somewhat works, and even that's a loose definition of if it works or not. Maybe it's just because we don't know any different, and obviously it's not to say that like that's what I'm rooting for. Like, it's one of my things that I go into this going like, no, no, no. But then the more and more you get into it, it's like, well, if it was meant to be, why would it be an instrument used to fuck with us? Like, why would bring different color people? And you want to say like, oh, well, it's just like culture shock. And it's like, to some extent, but part of it also appears to just be like kind of who you are. And that's when you listen to all these crazy fucks that end up in Israel talk about like how, yes, the plan is to muddy their culture and their blood so that they have no identity. And it's like, that's what we used to talk about. Like, we have no American culture. It's that weird like rah rah America, but for what exactly?
We can't get behind anything. We don't really give a shit about anything.
Yeah, and then it's the same thing they did to white people specifically is now an American thing where it's like they get in your head as far as like, yeah, you should feel bad for just existing. You know, like, and they fucking cripple us before they even have to pick up a gun. So then they get us to the point where Canada right now, they're taking guns.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because that's the big thing you see where it's like, oh, you should feel bad about being white. You should feel bad about being this.
And it's lessened in the recent years, but it was dialed up for a minute.
Yeah.
Which I think is a fucking 12-year-old thought, but I guess some of these fucking, the white ladies got hit with it crazy when they were like in their mid-20s. Like, oh my God.
Yeah. Well, look at the people we used to fucking work with.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, you see, like, oh, I used to just think these was bots, But I see people in real life and get sad.
I heard all that, like, the intermix, and, like, obviously the war and just, like, displacement of people and all that shit and, like, the migrants and shit. I hear that's all part of a plan to cause civil unrest.
That's what I'm saying, and I hate that.
And then that civil unrest is going to get so bad to where, and then plus with mass shootings and all this other shit, that's going to cause.
Because then they just attribute it to a trans or a Mexican migrant or whatever the thing. So now crazy black guy,
so now society almost is going to feel like
racist white guy.
Exactly. So now society is almost going to feel like it's going to collapse, like it is in fucking Europe. They're doing the digital ID now,
bro.
And that's what it is. They're the precursor to what might happen over here, where like they let all these people in. They
create the problem so that you have to accept their solution, which is
exactly
fucking you.
Society collapses, and they go, okay, you guys, the society's fucked right now. We need digital ID so we can track people. We need cameras in every corner. We need drone patrols that patrol the streets, and that's all it is. They create the problem so that they have to create the solution.
So that everyone begs them for it.
Exactly. So that
no one even second guesses that this might be bad.
Exactly.
It's the same thing with tech sometimes. In a building. Tech sometimes you think like, oh wow, what a great advancement. This will be life so easy. And now it's like, oh yeah, now your brain's that much more fucked from the Bluetooth and the goddamn EMS. Yeah. Like, how hard would it be to just hardwire Wi-Fi in and have that be the norm?
It's controlled through
or hardwire internet. Sorry,
it's controlled through convenience.
Yes,
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Why would I ever drive a car when the car drives itself? It doesn't have a wheel anymore. I don't have to drive. This is sick. But now there's a lockdown or there's a mandate. I can't leave because I'm not vaxxed or whatever the fuck. My car doesn't work. I got to scan my digital ID to start my car.
Did you see some European country? The lady was saying how the like prime minister person was saying how it's going to get to the point where like you'll just have a car that you share with like a few neighbors.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you'll just unlock it with your phone.
Yeah.
And she doesn't cover like, well, what if you both have to use it at the same, like.
Well, no.
Then you both go to work at 8, 9, 10 a.m.
You have to figure that out.
It's like.
No, because these people don't live by the same rules they enact.
Because they'll still have a car.
Obviously, they'll have 3 cars and 3 jets, and they'll go wherever the fuck they want.
And go to Satan orgies.
Yeah, that's why they want, and that's part of the reason is what they say with like they want VR and AR to get so crazy advanced to where it's like no. Why would you leave your apartment? You stay here, you pay rent, you watch reality shows of the shit that you can't even afford.
Watch people the metaverse.
Exactly, you go to the metaverse. Why would you travel to the Vatican? The
cities are so dangerous.
The cities are dangerous. Why would you even travel these places? You could see what they looked like before they got shitty. We have.
You could see our censored versions of them.
3D renderings and all that stuff. You put on your glasses and you just go. You just go there. You don't have to leave. Even leave your house. Isn't that beautiful?
We'll ship the poison food to you directly.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's gonna be. And these people will accept it with open arms, and they'll be happy about it, and will be criticized for not getting the chip and not getting the digital ID.
They'll say, "Oh, he's that crazy guy that died trying to start a militia."
Yeah. Anyways, next week we'll pick up with Caesar.
Oh, I have more of this if you wanted.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because this was just I have a couple cool things that this lady connected to. The Cybele.
Okay.
I don't know if that's how you say it.
Cybele.
That's how I've been saying it. This is that word I was trying to say to you. Phrygia.
Got nothing on that.
Phrygia I've been going with. That's that hat I've been trying to tell you.
What hat?
Phrygian cat. This type of hat.
Oh, yeah. I remember you
Don't
saying
you see this pop up in all like ancient reliefs? These little guys
Sometimes.
wearing, not fucking ever, but I see this and I'm always like, well, that seems weird that it would keep popping up. It's a Phrygian hat.
And what does that symbolize?
I guess it goes on like in France and America to mean something about, they're called Liberty caps by then. I don't really know totally, but I just, it's from Persepolis in Iran.
This is in Roman. This pops up in Rome. This is what I mean. So, like, all these, like...
And the Scythians, who are Tartarians. A symbol of Jacobianism, right? Oh, it was the Roman goddess of liberty wore it. I guess that's where the liberty cap comes from.
Statue of Liberty.
And she's wearing a crown like Jesus.
What if she was wearing that hat?
Like a fucking beanie. So I bring it up because and where that is like Turkey, Anatolia, part of Turkey, where everything fucking is.
Obviously,
Turkey, Middle East, Armenia area. So Cybele is their only god, and this is old to the point that we don't really have a ton of stuff about them. It's like cobbled together from the later stories and then like kind of speculated as to what it is back at this point. Her name probably means mother mountain, or mountain mother, which the Samaritans who were on worshiping a mountain and not the temple.
Yes. Obviously.
And all the Mesopotamian religions that have the idea of the mountains that hold up the firmament, these sacred mountains.
Mount Ararat in Turkey.
For the Christians. Her character or, persona was likely influenced by the Sumerian queen Kababa, and I believe that when they say queen, I think there's a god named Kababa and also a queen named Kababa.
That's a great name.
Yes. Baba from Dragon Ball, I'm sure is what everyone's thinking. So they found this one statue that's like one of those big fat fertility, like big titty, big hip fat fertility statues.
Get one of those in my house.
For the chubby chasers. That's crazy that was... I get it, but why wouldn't you just have, like, a big-titted, not super fat?
Well, because I want her to know she's got money, and she's able to feed herself.
Maybe that... Yeah,
it's a sign of
plenty
wealth.
Of nourishment.
A sign of wealth.
So they sometimes date to... Oh, they dated that statue to, like, 8,000 years ago, I think, and they think that was her. So this lady's been around. By the time it gets to the Greeks, depending on what part of Greece, because this is, the fucking empire's huge at this point, so it's like kind of split.
Yeah, it goes to fucking India.
Yeah, from fucking Turkey or from
Spain.
Greece. Yeah, exactly. On the other, which Greek shit's going to be dangerous for me to get into because it's just going to be you trying to do the history stuff. I'm like, it's just Hercules fought.
Hercules fought this guy. And I go, that is cool. Hercules fought that guy.
Oh.
Well, let's remember Hercules is also.
Oh, he totally won this battle. He cut off her fucking head. He cut off Medusa's head.
We skipped Greece because that's going to be a lot.
My sister's into Percy Jackson. That's all that Greek shit.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We get her on.
Zach, I thought Hades was a bad guy. It's like, no, Zeus was a bad guy. Hades was misunderstood, a lot like me.
Not like me.
You could learn to give.
So you're the devil? No.
No, I'm the god of the underworld. I'm in the dark and shadows.
Yes. Manga made.
I told you about shadow powers. My dream. So depending on what part of the Greek Empire, this god Cybele would either be equated with the Titan Gaia, Demeter, who I think is like the queen of hell, but not Hades. Hades raped Persepolis. And I think that was like his wife. I think Demeter has something to do with the underworld. And then Ray, who I think is either like a Roman version of Gaia, or she's like, or like the god version of Gaia, who's a Titan. I forget what her deal is. But other than that, they also, in other parts, would just treat her as a foreign mystery goddess. Like they didn't attribute her onto one of their people. They were just like, oh no, it's just like this, it's Cybele from far away. Her priests were eunuchs, which I also looked up. Because they don't just cut the balls off. They cut the penis off.
Do they really?
I looked it up today.
How do they piss?
I looked that up. I'm disgusted by the whole thing. Apparently, you cut the penis off, you still pee out of your urethra. You have to be mindful to make sure that the urethra doesn't heal all the way, because then you won't be able to pee. So you have to like somehow just...
How do they cut it off? With a hatchet?
I didn't get into that aspect of it. I just got into how do they pee. But I guess the control of the pee coming out is from a muscle that's like in your bladder. So as long as you still have that intact, you can still like hold your pee like normal, but then you would just pee. It would be like peeing out of like, it would come straight from your body basically, instead of from a penis.
And what's the point of that?
So you don't fuck anyone. If you're the king, you get a bunch of eunuchs and they're the guards of the queen or whatever. You don't have a bunch of and they would be advisors because they weren't trying to like take. I think it was the literal thing of like they won't try to fuck anyone, and then the thing of like they're testosterone. They'll be chiller. They'll be able to like think clearly. They're not gonna have pussy on their mind. They'll be able to think about battle strategies and political moves.
I wonder how does that heal? Like, that must be horrific.
Well, that's why I don't know if it was a hatchet job, because I think it's like a surgery. Because it's like they're not doing it out of like punishment. It's more just, well, this is you're going into the priesthood.
Yes.
You know, because like priests can't get married now, so it's almost like they're taking care of that for you type of thing.
Yes. Let's look that up.
What?
How does this happen?
Oh, it's probably like whatever scalpel type thing they had. I don't think it was a full hatchet. Cybele was associated with mountains, city walls, fertile nature, wild animals, particularly lions, Mark.
Lions?
Very much represented by the lion. The Romans knew her as Magna Mater, which means Great Mother. You got anything on that surgery?
No, keep going.
In 205 BC, the Sibylline oracle said that she would be talking about Cybele to the Roman leaders. She told them that Cybele would be a great religious ally in Rome's second war against Carthage in 218 BC.
They do it themselves.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the priesthood. It's like you're going into the priesthood.
No. It's a self-castration they perform.
But it's like
no. It's
not. You're not allowed to marry someone. Is what the version of it now. Back in the day, it was like, well, make sure you don't marry someone.
Yeah, it's
bring me back your penis.
Yeah,
yeah, it's horrific. I used to think they chopped the balls off, and it was just like, all right, you can't get anyone pregnant. That's enough. But no,
it doesn't say how they do. They just cut it off. I guess they just do it.
Yeah, I think you're overthinking it, man.
Wouldn't you pass out? Like,
wouldn't
you bleed out? Or they cauterize?
These are hardier stock.
They probably cauterize. They have to. That's crazy. That's fucking.
But they can't cauterize it because then the urethra will close. That's
well,
what
that, yeah. But
they said. They had to keep it.
The balls, I think you'd have to.
Well, yeah, you'd have to seal your.
That's crazy.
I didn't like looking into
Especially doing it by yourself, like, because it's not one, like you'd almost want a hatchet. It's done.
You'd want like the paper cutter, like a guillotine.
Yes.
But here's your Carthage shit. The oracle told
it's not shit.
I didn't say it like that. I said it like regular stuff. The oracle told the Roman leaders that Cybele would be a great religious ally against Carthage. I think she's not. I don't know exactly why on our chart Janus and Cybele are together because they're not like a couple. That's not like you were saying. Like his wife from the David Icke thing. Like that's his wife. That not Cybele. So I don't know exactly why they're together yet. But
unless it's saying like they're not together, but the combination of those two things.
No, for sure. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what it is yet. This is the reason I bring that part up is because this is the only thing I found that was like overlap kind of. Because she's said to represent the boundaries between the known and the unknown, like the civilized versus the wild or the living versus the dead. And then you have Janus with the double face where it's like looking to heaven and the earth and past and future. So they both kind of have that like duality aspect, I guess. But I don't quite know the full scope of why they're paired up on our little chart there. And her husband or consort is Attis, but they say that might be a Greek invention. In a lot of the versions, whoever the king in the area that worships her is, she just becomes the consort. She's like a god queen, and the kings just keep changing over time.
Oh, okay.
And weirdly, one of the kings, how did we decide on this? Phrygian king.
Phrygian, I think you hit it.
Phrygian king Gordius, he adopted Midas, who becomes King Midas with the golden touch.
Really?
Yeah. And
that's real.
And put under. Well, he washed his hands off in a sacred river, and that's how he got rid of it. This is after that, by the way. This is after he has the golden touch. He gets adopted, apparently, which I don't know what the age thing on that is.
Well, it doesn't really matter. And the calendar's fucked.
Speaking of calendar, Saturnalia. It used to be 17th to the 19th and then till the 23rd. But then eventually it was moved to December 25th, baby. The birthday of the unconquerable sun.
Yep, of course.
So Romans see Saturn as the god of time, generation and dissolution, agriculture, the periodic renewal, liberation, wealth and abundance. His reign is when the golden age was. And I wonder... It gets me all fucked up because I like thinking about the golden age.
Yeah.
And I wonder, is that
bad?
Is that like a golden age for you guys?
That's what it's, yeah. Well,
it was bad?
That's what I hear. I heard that, yeah.
So I'm scared about that because I love thinking about the golden age of Adam.
No, I have heard, I think Santos brings that up where it's like, yeah, when they say golden age, it's a golden age for the elites.
Yeah.
Cocksuckers. I don't know if we ever get a golden age.
Well, Spain had one after they fucking kicked somebody out.
Yeah.
Once the Romans overtook the Greeks, that's when we were talking before, like Saturn gets linked with the Titan Kronos. He's Jupiter's dad, who is Zeus and all that jazz. And then, like I was saying, Saturnalia is this holiday where they do a sacrifice at the Temple of Saturn, and gifts are given out like Christmas time. They said they were usually like gag gifts, which is a funny
like
concept.
A white elephant?
No, white elephant is like how you give out gifts.
Okay.
Gag gift is like you don't give someone a PS5
Here's
or
a
whatever.
dildo.
No, I mean it could be depending on the context.
Yes. Here's a whoopee cushion.
That's literally a gag gift. That's a gag as a gift. part of the thing was that norms were inverted. So like where gambling was usually frowned upon, you could do that, and then you just treated slaves like they were regular people.
Wow.
Which is insane to think that like it ends and you're like, all right.
Hey, fucker. Get back in there. They didn't have phones.
Well,
That was the gag gift.
You ever see those things they have where they had like FaceTime?
What? Yeah. We've all seen that. No, what is that?
They had like these things where they would kind of.
Really?
Yeah. I'll find it.
We'll get into that.
I'll send it to you.
That's Romans?
It's good that I'm
Greeks.
off Twitter for no, just ancient peoples. Okay. I forget what era, but at some point they have this device. I think Tartarian
the Vatican
stuff.
has a device where you could see anything.
They related it to that, but I wasn't sure how, because this seemed more common. It seemed like the Vatican thing had an extra layer.
Common era.
Sure. I think it was Tartarian stuff.
Okay. Which could have been, who knows? That could have been in the 1910s.
We could be living it right now. So yeah, slaves could like eat at the table for the time, and then it was like, all right, fucker.
That's cool.
It's cool, but I don't know how you could spend the whole time be like, they're a real person.
Yeah.
It seems like it would cure everything, but nope. They would elect a king of Saturnalia who could walk around and give orders and be like, I'm the king of the castle.
I'm the king of the cube.
He would like direct the fun, basically. He was like the guy to make sure like everyone's having a good time. And they considered that acting in this way was like an ode to the golden age of like, we're acting how we used to back then. But then it's like, well, you could gamble. So on the one hand, it's like slaves treated as equals. You're like, right, there's probably no slavery in the golden age. But then it's like you could gamble, and it's like, well, I know, like, freedom-wise to gamble, yes, but it's weird that would be the go-to, like, golden age thing. So I don't know if it's, like, debauchery or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. The Greeks had Chronia, which was a festival for their version of Kronos. Eventually moved to the 25th, like I said. And I think that's once, like, I think that's the Roman era of, like, Judaism being mixed in and Christianity. So it's like, now we got to grab the pagans, because it said now there's like the winter solstice aspect, and they like tied everything together to make it the 25th.
This will line up more when we go through, I think, when we go through Rome more.
Yeah, that's because that, like I said, is like a way down the line. Everything else is more like coming off the Greek shit early Rome. That one's like what's his face, Josephus, like injection into shit.
Second Temple destruction.
Yes. Yeah.
When the Jews come on
in. During the Second Punic War, this is what I was saying earlier. The Romans used to celebrate like their normal way, but after they brought in the Greek elements like sacrifice, and then so they do that, and then after this battle with Carthage that they lose, I guess they kind of like upped it more in order to appease Baal, because that was their guy. So I don't know, because I think there's 3 of them, right? You said the Punic Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it changes back at some point, but I think like for the time being, they had to kind of like bend the knee. It seems like.
Yeah. Well, they almost Rome in the Second Punic War, Rome almost got destroyed.
Okay. Well, yeah, that would make sense then.
Yeah, which is odd. They just didn't keep going.
Yeah. Right. And then a couple things I found out while I was reading about the Cybele lady, because I had to figure out where this place even fucking was. The caps thing, now I'm glad I got to finally show it, because now it'll like stand, like you'll see it's weird how much it pops up, I'm telling you.
I feel like those goat feet people have that.
That's connected. They're called satyrs.
Yeah.
I always fuck up because I know centaur, but a satyr is the goat one, not the horse one.
And Jews have the satyr.
Put that on the docket. Circle back to that. So
I can't wait for that to be connected.
The Greeks associate, get on that. the Greeks associate the Phrygians with dactyls, who I read were either an archaic race of men. I don't know if that means like prototype human type of thing. Or another thing said like minor gods. So I don't know if that just means like, or like just, how Greeks have all their different, like, I don't know if that means it's like a little offshoot species. I don't know. Again, this was just real in passing because that wasn't the main thing. And those are associated with Cybele, who, if that's who they think these people are, is the Phrygians. That would make sense. They said they were blacksmiths and healing magicians. They taught the humans metalworking, mathematics, and spelling. Sometimes there's like 10 of them, but as often as they're referenced to have 10, there's also 3. Like, it's either 10 or 3 when the story gets told, and there was a specific reference to like the number 33.
Nice.
So
solid.
Just an interesting little, notation there.
Hard dick on.
Yeah, just hey, what about that? And Hephaestus, the guy that would hammer Zeus's lightning bolts.
Yes.
They say they worked for him. Like that was where they knew their metalworking from. And they say the Phrygians, I think, invented bless you. Or the Greeks thought the Phrygians invented ironworking. Like they were the ones who showed it to them.
Really?
They said they were like masters of copper and ironworking, and then they were also known for their wine, which goes into this next point. This is the best thing I found all day today. King Antiochus III, who reigned around 200 BC, he relocated 10,000 Jews from Babylon and Mesopotamia to Phrygia. Jews from Babylon, that's the whole shit we're on.
Yeah. And Lydia, that's where they say...
the Persian Empire absorbed them.
Well, that's where they say, yeah, that's... Okay, wow, this is actually going to...
This was the best thing I found all day.
This is...
Because this king, he brings these 10,000 Babylonian Jews and general Mesopotamian ones. He gives them land, tax exemptions, fucking that far back, they're getting tax exemptions, and grain up until they can support themselves. And then he specifically gave them land for vineyards, and the Talmud references Jewish Phrygian wine. They had synagogues there, like that you can still find.
And this is where they say, like, remember how we were saying the Etruscans? There's a theory, like Herodotus said that there was a famine and the Lydians came over and they settled in with the and became the Etruscans.
Okay,
that's interesting,
right? Because that would make sense if you're saying.
Jays.
Well, if you're saying,
because this is all pre-Bronze Age. This is all pre-Bronze Age collapse.
And you said the Etruscans were Iranians, Persians, so that would make sense if the Persian Empire absorbs Lydia.
Yeah.
That's who that would be.
When I finish the Santos stuff, he breaks down all these those noble families.
Mm-hmm.
If you trace all their roots and shit, all their names are old fucking Persian names, like of cities. Of like, so like there's like they come like it's like, oh, you guys just came from these fucking cities over in Persia and Iran and all these other places. So
which is Mesopotamia.
Which is all this shit. Babylon shit.
Which we know better than anything.
Better than anything.
And the only other thing, Montanism, which my grandpa's name was Montana, which I wonder if that's related. Montanism.
He probably started it.
Yeah. Is a form of Christian heresy, and it's known as the Phrygian heresy. And one of the things that it was heretic for was women being priests. And it's like, because Cybele was their fucking mother god, and it was like the head of the pantheon, which you don't see a lady being the head of the pantheon a ton.
No.
So just like a Christian tie-in on the back end.
Once we get into the popes, we'll find out a lot of the heresy crimes is just suppressing knowledge.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's what a lot of that is. And a lot of these popes, they create these things. They have papal bulls, which is like a decree or like a thing they put through that's like, this is what the Pope allows. And like the Pope is like, if you're Christian, we fucking allow it. Go ahead. So like there's this one Pope that before the conquistadors went over to South America, which they knew was there because they have the old maps. He made this papal bull that declared these native people like animals.
Right.
So it's like, oh, you can do whatever
that.
you do whatever the fuck you want with them. They're fucking animals. Don't even worry about it.
It was like working out that the slaves were 3/5 of a person.
Yeah.
Like to make votes work or whatever the thing was.
Exactly. That's interesting. But hey, we'll get more on this next week. This is interesting. You focus, take care.